Mendeecees really entered the courtroom as like he was going to place an order for lunch, but instead he dropped bombs like butt texts, screenshots, and entire voice messages all exposing Erica. I'm not even sure how to explain this without coughing. And this isn't your typical baby mama drama. This is pure evil. The fact that Erica was out there being so phony and making up stories about that baby is proof that Mendeecees stated under oath that the entire pregnancy might have been part of a setup. Yandy attempted to intervene but was quickly shut down, and the entire courtroom froze as if it were a live broadcast. Who was she texting while she was lying on that hospital bed? This isn't a reality show anymore, buddy. If the messages that men are exposing are even remotely genuine, then Erica Mena has just gotten herself involved in the biggest scandal of her career. Hold on, this is about to get nasty. Have you ever seen someone ruin their entire reputation in less than 5 minutes? That's precisely what occurred when Mendeecees took out his phone in court as if it were inconsequential and sent out texts that had everyone in the courtroom gripping their breath. And no, this isn't reality TV. The storyline wasn't made up. This was real life, and it was shown in a federal building. Let's take a moment to explain everything, because if you're unfamiliar with this situation, you got to get the whole picture. We're talking about Erica Mena, a model, reality star, and drama magnate, and Mendeecees Harris, a former criminal who is now a family guy and keeps coming back to himself. Just a few weeks ago, Erica revealed on social media that Mendeecees was the father of her newborn child, and the internet went crazy. This is where things get twisted in the middle of the messiest scenarios possible. Was popular and being devoured by blogs like Sunday Dinner, but then the results of a DNA test proved it, or so we believed, but now, because of Mendeecees' legal team, those results are being questioned for what reason, as he just revealed. Let that rest for a moment. According to insiders, these communications reveal Erica manipulating timeframes and threatening to go forward, suggesting that the entire pregnancy may have been a setup. Who would even consider using a look-alike donor to skew the DNA findings if Mendeecees didn't acknowledge the baby and joked about it? But wait, it gets worse in one of the voice records that were purportedly released just weeks ago. If you're not going to claim this baby, I swear to God, I'll ruin everything you have going on with your brand, your deals, your marriage. I'll burn it all, Erica is heard stating before to the baby's birth. Let's talk about timing quickly, since Yandy rose up as if she had seen a ghost inside the courtroom when these texts first appeared. Bro, that doesn't sound like a mother. It sounds like a whole villain origin story. The question now becomes if this kid is real or just a pawn, and if so, how far was Erica truly willing to go? The judge shut down her attempt to object, saying he wanted to hear everything. According to one anonymous court witness, and yes, they requested anonymity because this situation is becoming frightening. Erica was heard instructing her aide to ensure that the lab worker received his packet. Don't get it twisted, males aren't angels either, and this dude has a whole rap sheet longer than a CVS receipt. Is this a DNA test or a freaking mafia movie? This time, though, he might be the one telling the truth, particularly since he supplied more than just texts. He also brought locations, timestamps, and even video proof of him confronting Erica weeks prior to the baby's birth. In the video, Erica can be seen screaming, "You promise you play along. You're not giving up just yet." What were they doing with the fictitious pregnancy, a custody dispute, or a scheme involving Mona Scott? No one knows yet, but social media is already consuming it. One Twitter user wrote, "If Erica really faked the baby just to trap Mendeecees, she needs an Oscar, not a custody hearing. This is next-level psychotic." Textgate and Erica Exposed are trending back-to-back. Honestly, they might not be mistaken when someone else added, "She went from Erica Mena to Erica Menace." Let's now discuss why Erica would go this far. Recall last year when her endorsement, she was thrown off a PR trip for allegedly striking another influencer on stage after the flat tummy tea brand started drying her up, and her reputation was already suffering. So what better way to grab the spotlight than by fabricating the most convoluted and messy scandal imaginable, trapping a man with a child? preferably one who is already well-known, married, and contentious, and making headlines right away. However, if this was a public relations ploy, it's backfiring in real time because Erica's lawyer began to perspire when the texts were read aloud in court. Rumor has it that he requested the judge for a break and was later spotted pacing outside while talking on the phone, saying something about Mendeecees, simply sat back in his seat, cool, serene, and unconcerned, as if he had been waiting for this moment for months, despite the courtroom being in disarray due to tainted evidence or the scheme. Claimed that he appeared to be a man who had finally had enough of playing the villain. He spoke very little, letting the text do the talking, and they read one of the last messages before the session ended. As long as the media believes it, the judge then stated, "We'll need to reconvene after a short break. I want tech experts to verify these records." So no, this isn't over. That's all that matters, man. It's only the beginning, and the worst part is that we haven't even discussed the medications, phony lab results, or purported money transfers. Yes, you heard me correctly. This issue is more extensive than we initially believed, and in part 2, we're going right into the flames, and one anonymous court source claims that just when you thought things couldn't get any uglier, Erica twists the script in the most evil way possible. Yes, the same person who constantly jeopardizing their job for the drama, Erica didn't simply sit there. Discreetly as Mendeecees brandished those receipts in court, oh no, she was apparently in possession of her own nuclear-level evidence. And what was it? A purportedly classified film that was allegedly recorded in 2023 that purportedly showed Mendeecees shouting into the phone while pacing a hotel room with what looks to be a used drug kit, saying that he can't continue to do this with Erica. The video, which was allegedly taken by one of her staffers, hasn't surfaced online yet, but according to rumors, a number of prominent gossip blogs have already made dubious bids to purchase it, and Erica has suddenly become very quiet, deleting Instagram photos as if I've been sued and told to stop talking. Silent, but it doesn't end there. A second anonymous message was posted on other gossip websites alleging that Mendeecees checked into a rehab facility last year under a false identity shortly after the said baby was born. Why is this happening? Noteworthy because he made the public declaration that he was working on his marriage with Yandy at that time, which makes sense. Fans are now searching through previous podcast episodes, Instagram accounts, and even archived tweets in an attempt to figure out if there were any clues. They were similar to Yandy's cryptic September post that stated, "Loyalty shouldn't be confused with stupidity." Now let's discuss the actual fallout. According to insiders, VH1 producers are in a panic behind the scenes, reportedly getting ready to release a love and hip-hop atonement spin-off that would include Mendeecees, Yandy, and Erica in an unexpected reconciliation narrative, but it has now reportedly been abandoned altogether. According to reports, Mona Scott is even separating herself from her close pals by saying, "I'm not touching that mess with a 10-foot pole." The worst aspect is that a civil case is currently being prepared not just against Mendeecees, but also against the reality TV network. According to reports, Erica's legal team is investigating whether producers were aware of the dangerous image that if this gets to trial, we're talking about subpoenaed video, unpublished reunion episodes, cast members testifying, production emails being leaked, and events being encouraged to play out on camera. Yandy went up on her backup page last night because the main one is obviously shadow banned, but don't assume she's taking this line down. She remarked, "People out here pretending like they're victims when they've been, no. Don't push me. I kept receipts too. What does that mean? Oh wow, you know it's real when even staffers confused now." Safri jumped in the comments. Fans are split between Yandy and Erica's teams. One side argues Erica has been demonized for too long and eventually lost it under duress, while the other side says she's lying to get attention and entangling innocent people in her downward spiral. But the crucial question of whose child it is still stands. According to court records, Mendes asked for a second DNA test, this time with independent legal supervision from Eric's team. Yes, they are turning this disaster into event television, but there's a catch. They want the results to be shown live on a new tell-all special. Rumor has it that a big streaming service will let that sink in. In the meantime, Erica's ex-boyfriend Safari has apparently submitted a cease and desist letter to Hulu, which is in negotiations to broadcast a limited documentary series based on the case, according to sources. In a public statement, his team stated that Mr. Samuels has no connection to the party. Both parties have demanded that they cease using his name in any interviews pertaining to the controversy. Rich Dallas, the man, the myth, and the walking red flag, suddenly shown up again. He's reportedly trying to mediate peace behind the scenes and is even taping confessionals for the suspected. The next court hearing is due for next Friday, and according to insiders, both sides are being advised to settle privately. However, at this point, the documentary series is not even reality TV. Rather, it is reality warfare. Mendeecees and Erica are not backing down. In fact, they have both recently engaged new public relations teams, which indicates that they intend to exploit this controversy to the end. Although Yandy says she is over it, don't be shocked as she appears. Silence isn't golden in the realm of love and hip-hop. It's suspicious. Just when everyone thought the pandemonium had subsided, she was outside that courthouse in a complete Balenciaga outfit, holding a baby bottle and a microphone, ready to speak her truth. Peaked since the following court hearing caused a stir on the internet. The courtroom was crowded with news bloggers, Erica's glamorous entourage, and even two odd former cast members from Love and Hip Hop who appeared as though it were the BET Awards. But this was about more than simply a paternity test. It was about deception, power, treachery, influence, and perhaps even criminal activity. Erica wrinkled her eyes as the judge began the session by requesting that both parties maintain their civility. Mendeecees appeared to have been sleeping for days, and just as the court clerk was about to settle in for a peaceful morning, "Boo, Mendeecees. Your Honor," he began, standing up and delivering a bombshell. "We have new evidence not just about the paternity, but about Erica's deliberate deception, the digital tampering of the first DNA test." He held up a stack of documents. Men accused Erica of fabricating the initial DNA test and bribing someone at a private lab to make it appear as though he was the father, along with her purported effort to bribe a lab worker. The judge didn't waive, but according to this side, she sought leverage, legal, financial, and of course, viral. Erica's team was incensed, and her lawyer described it as a desperate attempt by a guilty guy to avoid accountability. Instead, she imposed a gag order on all parties and ordered an immediate investigation into both parties' claims. This, of course, had no effect because by the time Erica and Mendeecees left the courthouse, there had already been two different blog leaks, one claiming that Erica's assistant admitted to knowing the test had been tampered with, and another claiming that Mendeecees' new evidence was just screenshots that had been manipulated on Canva. However, the real kicker, Yandy, appeared. Yes, just when you thought she would remain behind the scenes, Yandy walked into the courthouse foyer with her own lawyer and a large envelope in hand. The internet went crazy, with some followers believing she. The surprise is that, according to stolen documents from a source near the courthouse, Yandy wasn't there to assist Mendeecees. Rather, she came to make a case. Others thought she was presenting her own evidence. She stated that both Erica and Mendeecees had used her name and likeness in ways that were libelous and psychologically upsetting on social media and in public appearances, and she sought a protective order against them both. While the commotion developed inside the courtroom, the internet was experiencing its own collapse, with hashtags like TalkerBabygate and This Isn't Love and Hip Hop Anymore. Talk's mess and Erica's exposure went viral for hours, and conspiracy videos on TikTok received millions of views. Even celebrities began to comment, with Nicki Minaj posting a mysterious story about how they always try to trap a man with a baby. Meanwhile, Cardi B recently tweeted, "You all better keep me out of this love and hip-hop nonsense." New Remain woke Keke Palmer also replied, "I'm tired, y'all just tired. We adore these anonymous producer leaks," but while fans were giggling and dragging, actual repercussions were beginning to pile up. According to an unnamed producer at VH1, Erica has now been permanently barred from all further LHA projects. Not simply according to insiders close to the entire series in Atlanta, she was being considered for a redemption storyline in a future reboot, but executives quickly abandoned it once court documents were leaked. To make matters worse, Mendeecees' brand deals were canceled. One beard oil business reportedly stated, "We don't do baby mama chaos." Low-level endorsements vanished immediately, and now that Mendeecees and Erica are both in decline, guess who is attempting to take center stage? Once more, Mama Judy. Yes, Mendeecees' mom. She continued, clutching her trademark cup of tea and sporting a bonnet. Wasn't good, and I told Yandy that she shouldn't have gotten involved. Now look at the circus. This is what happens when reality TV gets in the way of reality. To be honest, she kind of ate with that one. But now that fans want answers, the situation then takes a far darker turn when a blogger claiming to have behind-the-scenes film reveals that Erica's baby's real father is not Mendeecees or even Safari, but rather a well-known producer connected to another reality program. The issue is that, if it's true, everything Erica has done in court has been a setup from the emotional when she first met him last year while making an appearance as a guest on a pilot episode. According to reports, everything from the phony test to smearing Mendeecees' reputation was part of a sick plot to gain full custody and widespread sympathy. And guess what? Yandy's attorneys are apparently bringing a separate legal lawsuit. She is suing Erica for mental distress, slander, and online harassment, alleging that her social media efforts have harmed her company's reputation and led her children to experience ongoing anxiety. You know who is supporting her. Yes, Tahiri appeared out of nowhere with a dubious TikTok about women who use motherhood as a weapon. Fans instantly connected it to the Erica Mendeecees incident. At this point, the shade is generational, and